Hey guys, Ryan from Recovery Tattoo here. Hit you with a new story time. Just because I feel like it, and this is the only minute or hour or so I have to put aside for this. Plus, I wanna. I just feel like doing this new story. I don't know. It's a good one, and I feel like doing a new pattern too. I just feel like it. I don't know. It is what it is. I got motivation, but I wanted a new stencil, so how I told you I've been going hard and liking the illustrative cartoony shit lately. So, boom, I put a little Bugs Bunny dropping acid and like saying haha to the freaking, is that Ren and Stimpy or Cat Dog? I mean, I know it's not Cat Dog, but Ren and Stimpy, whatever. I can't remember. I just grabbed both images from somewhere else and then put them together here, and then I'm gonna like do something in the middle to make it all cool. Whatever. That's way later on. All right. So boom. All right. It's wicked late at night, but I'm gonna try to stay on my game. Try to stay on point. I'm gonna be using my Mast V3 Extreme 4.0 stroke fixed direct drive. I've told you guys about this machine a little bit. I really like it. I had it for a long time before I even tried it. I just use a battery grip. That way I don't have a massive battery hanging off the back. I still get it's still light and, you know, easy to move around. And I'm moving on to, I'm going to get an Injecta Flight Nano. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the Elite Elite or not yet, but that's what I'm going to, and that's more kind of like this style. I already have a couple of battery grips stocked up, and I'm going to get a third one when I order the machine. And I'm just going to do battery grips and run Injecta probably. I might use some of the tensioner bars, but I'm going to use the 4.0 or the 4.5 inch cam. Stroke cam. Sorry. All right, it's a Mass Pro 2 standard 9 round liner, dynamic black. Here we go. So this is what happens to you when you're a drug addict who can't stay out of jail and gave his word to a 1% organization that I wouldn't use drugs anymore. I gave him my word. I said when I got out of jail this time, I wouldn't do it. And let me just tell you quickly, I didn't keep my word for very long. Let me tell you. And let me tell you how that fucking played out for me. Not too fucking good. Wait till I tell you. Insane movie shit. Ready for this? Okay, so I get out of jail one of these times. When I was younger, I was right when I turned 17 and got arrested for some felonies. The state I'm in can charge you as an adult when you're 17, and they did. And, I kind of started going to jail early in life. So I got out of jail one time, and my family has been deeply affiliated with a 1% organization. More than affiliated, we'll say, for the past 30 years. So we'll say this happened about, 15 years ago, right? I got out of jail one time, and I promised I wouldn't use drugs anymore. That was part of the rules. You can't be a junkie. You would think a 1%er club wouldn't care about stuff like that, right? But they do. They don't like people that are liabilities, and they care at this time. You know, it's a little different now, but at this time there was a large group of guys that were actual brothers. You know, they cared about you too, and you know, when they gave their word, they kept it. You know, don't give your word if you're not going to keep it. It's just that easy. And as a man, you know, your word's all you got. So I gave my word, but I gave my word full well knowing that I wasn't going to keep it. You know what I mean? Like, I was a drug addict. I was addicted to heroin. It didn't matter that I went to jail. I wasn't done using. I went to jail just because I got busted doing some shit. Because I was a drug addict. And, you know, I just figured I would either try or, you know, just hide it from them. And my whole life, and this is now carried on into my current life, but my whole life, people couldn't wait to tell my family shit about me, no matter what. They just couldn't wait. They wanted like the brownie points from someone in my family. So everybody, whether they knew us or not, if they had my dad's phone number, people couldn't wait to tell him shit. Like that they heard that I was doing or saw that I was doing, or especially if it had to do with me. People couldn't fucking wait. My dad would get phone calls from people he doesn't even know telling him about shit that I'm doing or that I was seen in town during school hours or whatever the fuck. I was always getting busted because people just couldn't wait to tell my dad shit. It was insane. And it's too small of a town. So, anyways, I get out of jail and I hook up with this girl, a little bit younger than me. And, you know, I actually knew her ex-boyfriend. I was in jail with him. We were actually cellies a couple of times. When he was with her, he had a kid with her before I got with her, which is kind of fucked up on my part. I shouldn't have got out. And like I got out and she was just in the circle of people that I was hanging out with, and she was definitely attractive, and she was definitely going out of her way to pursue me. And you know, I shouldn't have really gone there, but I caught feelings. It is what it is. I can't take it back now. I really shouldn't have, because I was friends with her baby daddy, and that's just not the coolest thing to do. But I was young and on drugs, and you know, I guess I wasn't ready to be a real man yet, even though I thought I was. So anyways, I'm fucking very, very, very quickly I moved in. She lives with her parents. Her parents are disabled, and they got like, both of them were disabled fully, and both of her parents got both parents got 2 scripts each of morphines. They both got a whole script of morphine 100s, and they both got a whole script of morphine 30s. And they didn't take them as prescribed. And so, you know, I would hustle some of them for her so we could get some for free. Or I've always worked, so I mean, even at this point in time, I was working at an ice cream shop. Like, no matter what, I always had a job. So anyways, I would either hustle them in town for her, or, you know, I'd buy them all, whatever spares that she had. Plus, my ex My girlfriend at the time, though, I mean, her parents were so hip to it that they would literally carry their prescriptions in their pockets and then literally sleep with them inside their pillowcases under the pillow that they're using. Because my ex and I, you know, she'd go in there while they were in the shower and get handfuls of pills, like while they're in the shower and the pants are on the floor. She's more than one time actually gotten away with sneaking in there while they're sleeping, go into their room while they're sleeping, reach under their head to grab a bottle of pills, dump some in her hand, and put the fucking bottle back underneath their goddamn head. We've got away with that. We never got busted doing that, but they would know the pills are missing, like when he would end up saying something and we would just deny it because we'd be like, when? How could we have done that? Right? So whatever. You know, I'm fucking working at this fucking ice cream shop, not making much money, but I have a drug addict and I have this cute new chick that I've known for a long time and like from school. She was a couple grades younger than me. And but I remember her from school. We went to the same school together. And not only that, this is also when, and I also had a vehicle at the time. So our heroin dealer at the time didn't have a vehicle or a license. And he was a junkie himself. So needless to say, he needed and his connect was in Rhode Island. That's several states away. I mean, it was like a 5-hour drive each way from here to his connection's house to pick up heroin. So I would drive him like 2-3 times a week to pick up bricks of dope. And I don't mean bricks like kilos. They used to call these little fucking, the little wax baggies. They were 10 baggies was a bundle, and then however many bundles, they used to call them little bricks or whatever. But it wasn't that many. Like maybe 10 bundles was a brick. I can't remember. It wasn't done by grams and fingers back then. It was done by bundles, those wax baggies. Anyway, so he would throw me, you know, minimum a bundle, which is 10 bags of dope, equaling like, you know, not much. There's like maybe a 0.1 tops in each bag. And so, I mean, like, my girlfriend at the time was also a heroin addict. So, like, I would do the 5-hour drive each way. So it's 10 hours driving just to get 10 bags. But we would do, between the two of us, we would do the 10 bags almost right away. Like, I was shooting up at the time. And, you know, right away a small shot would be 3 bags. And so if I do 3 bags, then she's got to do 3 bags. That's 6 bags gone out of the 10 before we even drive away. So he was getting fucking hooked up. I mean, he paid for gas and all that, but obviously. But it was a lot of wear and tear on my car and time for dope that we didn't even have any when we got home. But whatever. I was a junkie, so we were for it at the time, right? Now it's now we can look back and see how fucking stupid a lot of our actions were. So, boom, I would take him and do that 2-3 times a week. And so then we'd also buy dope from him when we had money, and then we were doing her parents' morphines like they were fucking candy, like they were candy. For some reason, morphines never really did much for me. I always had to do like an insane amount. It just never had a real effect on me. I don't know why. I mean, the Oxycontins do and did. The Perk 30s, the Blues, they did. I mean, even Vicodin if I ate enough of them. But when it came to morphine, like, I wouldn't even get high from them. Like, I would do 100 milligrams in one shot. And I would get the pins and needles rush. And then that's it. That's it. It was over after that. I had to do so much to actually, like, get high. I don't know why. It's always been that way for morphine for me. So anyways, so we were always doing a shitload of morphine and then doing heroin as much as we could, bringing the Connect as much as we could. Actually, I have a gnarly story about how this same dude's girlfriend told me she was a piercer, and if I got the piercing needle from the store, that she would pierce my nipples for me. I wanted my nipples pierced at the time, both of them. And let me tell you, I'll save it for another time, but let me tell you, I barely got one done, and that was after shooting up 10 bags of dope. Like, I shot 10 bags of dope, put my fucking syringe on the table, and said, go. And I freaking, it almost, and there's a few reasons why it was so goddamn bad, but it was the worst pain of my life. I didn't get the second one. It was fucked. I'll tell the story another time. Okay, so boom. So we're living at her fucking parents' house, and her parents live in this fucking mobile home park. And it's like not an upscale one, because it's really by far an upscale one, but for around here, it's kind of sort of upscale. Like, I don't know, it's like middle scale. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of rules there. You gotta have your nice yard, you gotta, pass a bunch of background tests and shit to live there. And I don't know, it's one of those parks. It's not too much of a trashy one, even though there was a lot of junky shit going on in there. Anyways, just not as bad as you think. It's nice paved roads. Fucking all the houses were like, up to date, newer, nicer. It wasn't a shithole. They didn't allow it. It was against the rules. So anyways, we're living there. Totally against the rules. We're not allowed to be living there either. But, keep your head down. Don't make noise. You can get away with shit. The only thing is I did have a car. So there was a new car out there all of a sudden. But whatever. I just did enough for the parents to keep them happy about me being there, so I could stay doing whatever I want in the middle, in town. It was right in the middle of where I needed to be, where all the shenanigans is. So listen to this, right? So boom, we're going along doing that shit. We're going to Rhode Island, getting dope, doing it all before we even get back, stealing pills. Her mom was an alcoholic as well, like so bad to where she would be deathly ill, puking in the morning if she had to drink every hour. But she also had to hide it from her husband, my girlfriend's dad. And I was 20, I think I just turned 21, so I could buy booze. And she couldn't drive. She didn't have her license. So she couldn't, the only time she went anywhere was with her husband, and she can't buy booze. He doesn't allow her to drink because she gets crazy fucked up. She goes way overboard every time she drinks. And so she would send me and give me pills just to go to the liquor store and get her, you know, a $5 bottle of fucking Zenka. And then she would hide it in our room. And then, like, just dip in our room every so often and just drink, suck it right down, right from the bottle. I remember that was one of the first times that I've seen, like, real gnarly alcohol addiction. I had been a drug addict at this point for years, so, but this is where I really saw what alcohol, the first time I really seen what alcohol can do to somebody. It was fucking horrible to see. I say that while we were in the other room shooting up fucking dope and morphine, but I don't know, man, like, this shit was killing her. And even the doctor said that she couldn't drink, and both of her parents were sick. Our rest in peace, both of them, because neither one of them are alive now. But, you know, if they're hearing this or paying, you know, happen to be coming across me saying this right now, I do appreciate you guys. Thank you for letting me stay there. I'm sorry I fucked it up, and I'm sorry I scared the living shit out of you with what the next part of the story. So, boom. So listen to this. So we're doing all that shit, doing our thing. In our room is all the way in the back. So nobody's got to go through our room. Nobody's got to ever open our door. Nobody's got to ever go through there. So we really didn't hide shit. Like our spoons and our needles and like all our shit was just sitting in our dresser drawers and shit. Like we didn't like leave nothing out on the counters or nothing, but we would just, you know, they were definitely just thrown in the drawers. And so listen to this, right? Just to protect this person's, okay, I'm going to protect this person right now. So I had a family member, I'll say that. I had a family member. Rewind for a second. Rewind. So I got some pills from a family member of mine because I knew that the morphine script was about to get filled. Every time the morphine scripts got filled, it was a big day for us because, you know, we got a bunch of pills and we got to get some money and we got, you know, we weren't going to be sick and whatever. It was always a big deal. So we're sitting there waiting for her we are dope sick too. I remember this. We were sick as fuck. And I tried rinsing out a million different cottons. I got cotton fever doing that. Like I ended up like shooting up like 30 times of just nothing, trying to get well. You know, squeezing cottons, putting the morphine gel, the leftover gel and the spoons together and like recooking it, trying to fucking come up with just anything to get off E, right? And their doctor's appointment sometimes they're gone for fucking hours, depending on what the doctor wants and needs. They were sick, like I said. But either way, they came back with their prescriptions. And so we were sitting there, pacing, fucking sweating. She's on the chair, you know, curled up in a fucking blanket, just fucking counting the minutes. And this was before, like, everybody had a cell phone too. Landlines were still a big thing, and not everybody had cell phones. Cell phones were around, but just not everybody had them. So anyways, you know, we're calling everybody we fucking possibly know, trying to see if we can get anything, but of course we don't have any money. And of course, everybody knows that we get the morphine pills for sale every month, but then nobody would give us anything even though we would come back that day. Anyways, we couldn't get well. We just had to wait for her parents to get back, right? So, whatever. That fucking seems like it takes forever. Rah, rah, rah. They finally get back. And I guess the dad had found out some shit, whatever. It took us a while. Rewind one more time. I did end up finding a family member of mine, a real close family member, and I got some pills from them, and I had to pay her back in the morphines because they knew I got those morphines. And so anyways, what happens is boom, my girl's parents, my girlfriend at the time's parents, finally get back. Boom, there was another issue about the dad finding out some shit, so he took her prescriptions. So we had to get those back to her so she could give them to us, so we could go, and so I could get her bottle and we could get our pills, right? So whatever, we got all that out of the way. So finally, by the time I get the pill, we finally get the pills, we get well, and by get well, I mean we do some, so we feel better. And then I literally dart out the door on my way to that family member to pay them back. It's the first thing I was doing, right? So I stop at KFC because I can eat now. I'm not dope sick. I got fucking like 50 fucking morphines on me, you know. I'm feeling, it's a good day for that day anyways, right? So what happens is I go out and make a couple of plays, so I had some money, and I could get the mother her bottle because that's what she wanted, and she wanted it immediately. So we got her a bottle. I made a couple of plays, and then I was gonna go straight to my family's place and pay them back. So I guess while I was at KFC, literally just stopping to get food before I go to their house to pay them back the pills I owe them, I guess they stopped, but my family stops by the house, my girl's parents' house where we live, but I wasn't there, and this family member of mine is like, everybody likes them. They're wicked friendly, like outgoing, and like wanted to talk to the parents and try to give them food money because she knew I was living there and whatever. But she was really only there trying to get her fucking shit from me. That's what she was doing. She was only there. So she showed up to visit, right? And visit, in quotation, air quotes, right? To visit us. And, but didn't tell us. Didn't call and tell me that she was coming, nothing. I didn't even know she went there. But I guess, because now I know all the information, I can tell you. What she did was she let herself in, talking to the parents, and then went into our room and for some reason started opening up drawers. I don't know what the fuck she was looking for or why she even did that. You know, I was fucking 21 at the time, and, you know, very much an adult. I can't believe, whatever. So, like I said earlier, where did I tell you I kept all the spoons and syringes? In the fucking drawers, right? So, she sees it all and she freaks out. And I still don't know this, but this is how it happened. So I have to put this in there. So what she does is she calls my dad. She calls my dad because she doesn't know what to do. And she knows that my dad is not going to be too fucking happy. So what happens is she calls my dad and tells him that she went over there to visit me or whatever. And she opened the drawer and found a bunch of needles and burnt spoons. And so she left out the part that she was only there to collect for fucking pills that she had given me fucking a week prior. She left that part out, right? Of course. But anyways, I digress. I move on. I don't hold grudges, right? I still was doing the wrong thing at the end of the day. It is what it is. So, safe to say that, and my mother and father aren't together either at this time, or ever. They've never been together, just out of context. So I didn't have like a mom and a dad. I had a mom that lived around at the time. She's been gone for a long time now. But and my dad lived in a few towns over, whatever. So anyways, she calls and tells him what she finds. And so I'm on my way. It's literally why I'm not at the house. Is because I'm on my way to go pay my family member back the pills. And so the same family member that fucking I was on my way to go pay back, calls my dad and tells him that they found a bunch of burnt spoons and needles in my room. And I'm not even mad at it, because when someone cares about you and they find that kind of shit, I mean, what are they supposed to do? If I found that shit in my kids' fucking stuff, I would fucking lose it. So, oh my God, it's about to get gnarly good. Ready? So what happens next is, so you think it's fucked up, right? Like, this family member does drugs with me, sells them to me. It's all good. I'm an adult and shit or whatever. They don't know how far deep I am either. But then they go and rat me out. Understandably so, though. Once you introduce a needle, that kind of changes things, especially in the hard drug game. And so they did what they were supposed to, but this is what it caused. So all this is happening while I'm not there, like I said, right? So then, like I said, I was at KFC, right? I get a phone call from the 1%er family member, which is a very, 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 very close blood family member. So they call me and they go, hey. And I'm like, hey, I have to answer. I didn't even hesitate to answer, actually, because I didn't think nothing of it. It was summertime. I remember it was summertime because my track marks were still on my arms, and I had to fucking like wear long sleeves and fucking whatever. So he calls me and I answer, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "Nothing. I'm getting some food, and then I'm going to a friend's house." Because I couldn't tell him about the family member and all that shit, because I wasn't gonna rat that family member out. There was no need for that at the time. So anyways, right? He says, "Hey," he's like, "Are you coming home soon, or are you close?" And I said, "I'm close, but I was on my way out." And they said, "Well, I stopped by to visit you." And they actually live out of town, and so it's not really something that he's done like that before, but it's not necessarily out of the question either, of things that he would do, right? But I fucking am I'm very intuitive. I can read people's voices. I can read people's tone. I can just tell when something's not right. Even over the phone. Forget about it in person. I can read people like crazy. In like if they're in front of me. But even over the phone, I could tell. I knew something was wrong. And they were asking me to come back for a minute so they could visit, right? And I'm like, something's fucking wrong. Something's fucking wrong, and I can't show up looking the way I do. Like, I had the gnarliest, disgusting, probably foot-long track mark from, like, right below the top of my bicep, going right up the top, like, not even the inside of my arm, the top of it. And it's fucking summertime out, and I'm wearing a fucking short sleeve, and it sticks out like a sore thumb because we were shooting up so often that it was just like a constant fucking open wound and line of fucking dots and bruises. So I remember there was somebody I knew at KFC at this time, and I had my car with me, but I didn't have any clothing in my car. I didn't want to roll up. I needed to roll up in a long sleeve or something covering my arms, even though it was fucking like 80 degrees outside. Oh my fucking God. Or probably hotter. I remember it was bright, sunny as shit, and it was hot. It was hot. It was probably like 90, between 80 and 90 degrees. And so these fucking bummy, junky weirdos that I happen to know that were at KFC eating, I kind of halfway sort of fill them in on the situation. I'm like, something's not right. I was like, I gotta go right this second with needles in my car, a pocket fucking full, a pocket full of pills, some in my sock, some in a bottle in my car, needles in my car, and this massive track mark I have to make sure I hide. So I asked them if they got anything in their car, right? So we go out in their car. They got nothing. The dude opens up his dirty, nasty-ass trunk. And of course, the only thing back there for clothing is this white hoodie. Or it's not a hoodie. There was no hood. It was just a white sweatshirt. And it was like fucking 4X. And I was a junkie at this time, so I was like as thin as can be. I looked wicked stupid in a 4X, right? And not only that, it was the farthest thing from white. It's like this thing had been in their trunk for like fucking 5 years, and then also used to wrap fucking like car parts with or something. It was just, couldn't be any fucking dirtier. but it was all I had. So I put it on and I rolled up my sleeves to like just up to have as much exposed arm as I could before the track mark showed, so I could hide it. I like half hide everything in my car, and I start heading back, and I'm literally, my drive back to where I was going and where they were waiting for me was like maybe fucking less than 5 minutes, right? So boom. So like I said, this was somewhat of an upper scale mobile home park, right? And so there's a full-on like entrance, one way in, one way out. There's like an office building there. People are like working there. It's like, it's very like, back then anyway, it was very like Leave It to Beaverish style, but not homes. They were mobile homes in a mobile home park, right? With all green grass and trees, and like it just, you know, was one of the nicer ones. So like I said, I pull out of KFC, and I only have like literally just a couple of minutes up the road, and then I have to take the turn and go in the entrance of this place. And so of where I'm living at the time and where my family's waiting for me. So as soon as I pull in, actually no, as soon as I pull in and get my car all the way inside the park, I see a motorcycle with a patch. I see their back to me, sitting there. And I freak out. I'm like, I knew something was wrong. I'm like, this is fucked up. So I drive by them and I like wave, acting all stupid, like I'm just saying hi, like, right? So then I pull in, I pass them, they're at the very entrance. So then I get to the road I have to turn on. There's another guy sitting there on his motorcycle, patch on, back to me. And as I take these turns, I'm recognizing these people, because I know this is, at the time, these were family to me and my brothers, just not biological. And so boom, I get down to the end of that road, there's another motorcycle, patch facing out. Every turn and road I took, all the way from the very beginning, there was somebody sitting there. So then I get finally onto the road that my actual house is on. And of course, there's somebody at the beginning of that road and at the other end. And right in the very front of this mobile home is, right in the middle, mainly the family member that I'm talking about's motorcycle. You know, I know it very well because it's my family's motorcycle, right? Plus three or four other motorcycles spread out, but his was the only one right there in the middle of the walkway to the house, right? And I'm fucking losing it inside. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I still don't know that my other family member had ratted me out, and this is what all this is for, right? So I fucking get out of my car. I see one of the brothers, and I act like nothing's wrong. I'm like, hey, bro, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And they say, go inside and talk to your dad. And I'm like, okay. So my family member comes to the door. I'm about to walk in. And so my family member has me take one step in the house. And I step in, and all I see is my girlfriend at the time's sister, and her boyfriend, plus the parents, all sat and separated from each other. Their cell phones were taken from them, and the house phone was unplugged. So, as anybody would, especially with how I grew up and what I've been through and what I've gone through, seen and done, and what I'm all about, I'm seeing this unfold and being bad, and I just don't know how bad yet. I don't know what he knows. I don't know what he's not. They're not saying much, except for just giving me dirty looks and like just telling me what to do and like where to go and shit. So they have me go back to my room. You know, they were the family and the boyfriend and sister, and they were, you know, wishing they didn't come over that moment, I bet. But they were sitting there, and they were told to not move, and not speak, and that you know we would be out of there soon. So, you know, nobody dared to. Neither would I. Anyways, so we walk into the back room, which is mine and my girlfriend at the time's room. And we walk in there with two brothers plus my family member. And what they do is first thing they do is start opening drawers, and every single drawer in there had like multiple used syringes with burnt bottom spoons, like all over the place, in every drawer, with different color shit in every spoon, like gnarly. So my heart drops. I know that I'm fucked up now and I'm busted. Now they're saying shit to me. Now they're like, you gave us your word, what the fuck's wrong with you? Now you're in here taking advantage of these people, not knowing that. I mean, actually, it was only the mother. The father had no clue what was going on the whole time. And the mother only knew certain shit. She didn't know that we were in there shooting up and stuff. But she still knew that we were getting high, and that she knew about everything else. But they played stupid, and I let, you know, me telling on them wouldn't have done me or them or the situation any good. So, you know, they all thought they were just the innocent older people, and they really were, to a degree. God bless them. Rest in peace. But so not only that, they flipped my mattress up, which was a fucking bad move, because I remember at this time we had a problem getting rid of our syringes for like, there was a period there where we stopped, like we ended up having a shitload. Even though we bagged them up and broke all the tips off and all that bullshit, it was still a shopping bag full of fucking syringes underneath the fucking mattress. And all the brothers are just like, what the fuck, man? Are you fucking serious? To them, I mean, to people that don't do that shit, especially, I mean, it's like it can be, you know, very shocking and it's horrifying to see. And I can understand how heartbreaking and horrifying it can be if it's someone that you love and care about. So my family member basically just said, listen, you got two options. He's like, you're going to come with me right now with all your shit, and you're coming to work with me, you're coming to live with me, and you're not leaving my side until I feel like you're not going to be at risk anymore. This was before, I mean, I was educated on drug addiction a little bit at this point, but he was not. So to him, he just thought that if he just took me in for a while until I was off the drugs, then that would be it. So, can you fucking imagine that? Imagine pulling in and you're literally watching some Sons of Anarchy shit unfold. I mean, it's not the first time for me, but like, just for the people of you out there that haven't been and that don't know, imagine pulling into your place knowing what you got on you, what they can't know, why are they there, why are they at every corner and have the entire neighborhood blocked off, and why do they have everybody sat down with their hands crossed and everybody's phones taken. Obviously, this is a very serious situation. And so, they gave me an option because I'm an adult. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just turned 21 or whatever. Either way, I'm over 18. Like, I'm an adult. And so my family member says, listen, you promised me that you were never going to do this again. This is absolutely disgusting and horrifying. He's like, you're either going to come with me right now and you have to work every day, you have to go everywhere. He's like, if I go to the store, you're coming with me. You're not going anywhere. That's fucking it. And you do what I say. Or I'm going to make sure you end up in rehab or somewhere. Because he's not just going to let me, he's not just going to sit back and allow me to do that. And so obviously, I chose going with them. And so this is where it actually starts to get a little bit, this is when the juice starts to happen, right? So one of the brothers is going to drive my car while I get driven with somebody else. And so they're wondering if I have anything in my car because they're going to be driving it. If they get pulled over driving my car, they don't want no drugs or any type of shit in the car, especially if they don't know about. And so I said no. I was like, no way. And I did. I had in an aspirin bottle right in the center console with no aspirin in it. It was only morphines. It was like 40 or 50 morphines. So if anybody looked at it and or opened it, they were all the same pills. It's not like these pills say morphine on them, you know? So one of the brothers starts looking around. I told them about the syringes I had in the back seat. I was like, I think I got some old syringes in the back seat, and I told them where they were. I got more dirty looks and fucking size. I know there's more coming. This isn't my punishment. My punishment is barely even fucking started. So boom. And I also forget that I have a weed pipe in my center console, but they don't care about weed, and most of them smoke weed, and so I didn't even think about like that. I'm just thinking about hard drugs and the need, like that's the stuff they're really worried about. And so he finds the weed pipe. He's like, what did I fucking tell you? I told you I was gonna fuck you up if I fucking found anything in your after I fucking gave you a chance to tell me? I was like, bro, it's a fucking weed pipe. I forgot about the weed pipe. I thought you meant like drugs and needles and like, I thought you meant shit you actually got to worry about. I forgot about the weed pipe. Fuck, I'm sorry. I was shaking. I was so fucking scared, man. Because right after this, the dude gets in my fucking car and they fucking lay me down in the back seat on the ground like you would see in a fucking mob movie. So I can't see out the window of where we're going. So I can't see where we're going. Think about how fucking scary that is. I got laid down in the back seat forcefully on my face on the floor, on the back seat floor of this car. And they're just screaming at me the whole way. You fucking promised us, motherfucker. Now you're gonna fucking get it. I'm gonna fuck you up when we get there. I'm fucking you up. I might as well just pull over right now and fuck you up. Rah, 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 what the fuck? They just were going off on me. And I understand it was all coming from love. At the end of the day, these guys weren't bullying me. They were part of my family. I've been to all their weddings. I've been to, I take care of their kids. These were brothers, but still gangsters at the end of the day too. So, and I broke my word to them. And my family member that came and got me from all that, his old man beat the shit out of him his whole life. And so my dad never put hands on me or my brothers or sisters like that. My old man could get wicked loud and mean and make us think he's gonna do it, but he never ever laid hands on us like that, ever. But, so I say that to say this. I get to where I'm going, right? I know that in my car I got 50 morphines in the center console. They didn't find them. And then while I'm sitting up there, okay, so they bring me somewhere. They finally bring me. We get to where we're going, right? And they put me in this. It's a garage, but above the garage there's a gym, like a fully finished, nice ass big room above the garage, right? They brought me up there. I'm sitting on a couch up there, and they all walked out, including my family member, for a minute. And I'm sitting there by myself, and I realized that I got 4 or 5 of them morphine pills right in my pocket. I mean, in my sock. And I don't know what to do. I had nothing to drink. I didn't want to get caught with them. I totally freaked out. I didn't know what to do. And I can't like dry swallow pills. But I did that day. I don't know how I was able to, because I didn't want to put them in the couch and have them be found after. I didn't want to just flick them across the room. So who knows who finds them after that, And not only that, I wanted them. I'm still a drug addict, still through and through. Just because, you're putting the fucking mob movie tactics on me right now doesn't change the fact that I'm physically addicted to fucking opiates. So I somehow get them, I fucking hurry up and get them out of my sock, and I fucking get them down. I somehow was able to eat them, because my other options were, they were going to find them at some point. And so a couple of minutes later, my family member walks in with about 10 brothers, and they basically just say the same thing I've told you guys already, like, hey, you gave us your word. And I also gave my family member my word, along with the brothers. And, he says to me, he's like, I can't He's like, I can't hit you. He's like, but I don't know what else to do. He's like, so I'm gonna have so-and-so tighten you up while I wait downstairs. And I said, what? And the dude he named he's known for his right hook, man. He puts motherfuckers down. And I'm like, I have to fucking what? So then my family member slowly walks out of that fucking, I remember it was like slow motion to me, even more. My family member plus a few of the brothers walk out of the door and leave me standing there with about 5 or 6 other brothers. Once my family member gets out the door, they start putting gloves on while they're yelling at me about how I lied to them and broke my word and how I'm gonna let drugs control my life and rah, 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 rah. Really putting it on thick and heavy. And so they like made me say it. They made me say I broke my word, I promised, and now I'm using drugs, rah, rah, rah. And then all of a sudden, one of the brothers walks up to me, bigger than me too, is towering over me, and he's like, what happened? Just like that. And I go, bro, I don't know, I just fucking got with this chick, and I fucking just got complacent, and like as I was starting to explain like that, I got they fucking knocked me I got fucking punched square in the jaw, hard, so it took me off my feet. I fell on the couch, which was right behind me because I stood up from it. And, I got my bearings together somewhat sort of quick, and I jumped back up. Not to fight, not to square up, none of that, but just to continue eye contact and continue the conversation. I ended up getting a couple of good ones that night, as I deserved. And afterwards, I ended up going out with this family member and having, we went to a restaurant and sat down and, talked about things a little bit and talked about how things are going to be. And, I was all wrapped up in the girlfriend still. I was like, yo, but that's my girlfriend. What do you mean? Like, I can't go anywhere or do anything. She lives 30 minutes away. I can't, blah, 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 blah. So, let's also not forget that I still have 50 morphine pills in the fucking center console. And I was too scared to even go get them for days. I left them out there, but it was comforting knowing they were there. I could just go get them anytime. And I did eventually. And what happened is that weekend that all this happened, that they fucking took over and shut down a neighborhood and a family's house to take me out of there, to get me off drugs. Got my fucking block knocked loose. And then, like I told you, I was going to be forced to live with them and work with them every day and blah, blah, blah. They had a boat. I'm going to end the story here. But I'm going to start with the next story because something happens right after this, literally within days, like gnarly. So, this family member has a boat. And like I said, anybody who's a junkie or a drug addict knows we don't like the sunlight. We don't want to be out in it. We don't want to be tanning. We don't want to be hot and sweaty. We don't want to be in public really either, especially like family events and shit. It's the last thing you want to do when you're junked out. And so we did that, and I ended up getting sun poisoning on the top of my feet, which made both of my feet swell up, and I couldn't walk without literally crying, right? But my family members still made me get up and go to work and climb ladders all day, up and down. I was literally crying for 8 hours straight. I would get home and my little brother would have to bring me water and drinks and food because I couldn't even get out of bed. It was so fucking bad. Talk about tough fucking love. Man, I fucking needed it. It didn't work that time, but it kept me good for a while. And I have a gnarly story for what happens after this too. So yeah, don't ever lie to a 1%er organization. When you give your word, fucking keep it, because you never know when there's going to be a real consequence behind you not keeping your word. It's kind of something you should just do anyways. You know, being a man or just a stand-up person in general, you should just be honorable, and your word should mean something when you say something. Otherwise, what the fuck do you got? All right. I'm going to keep fucking around on this design. Maybe I'll do the next story time with some shading. We'll see. But we're just over the hour mark now, and it's kind of exactly what I didn't want to happen. But this story is just one of those stories, and I hope I told it good enough. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you guys are digging it, and if you want me to just keep doing my thing. Also, I want to introduce reaction videos, whether it's 2 times a month, once a week, whatever. But I need somebody to start leaving suggestions on shows, or if you just want me to put some like tattoo compilations together and just give my opinions, or I can put clips of Ink Master up, or if, you know, there's a million different tattoo shows, or anything. I'll react to anything. It doesn't even have to be tattoo or anything related. If most of you want to hear it, then I'll do it. I can get to be pretty funny when I want to be. Usually the motherfuckers that say that are the most unfunny, but don't take my word for it. Leave some suggestions and I'll do it, and you'll see. All right, guys? Like, comment, subscribe. Love you, Ryan.